And not the full face.
Yeah,
it was
not
only
long.
like nose down, I think.
Yeah,
and it was
at
real
first,
quick.
I literally thought at first he was like, I don't know why. I thought when he dropped down to show his full face, I thought for whatever reason he was just gonna like rip his legs off. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
What movie you thought you
I
were
don't
seeing?
know. I thought I was in to watch the scariest movie
See,
ever.
This is what happens when you mislead people with marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
You get this.
I thought
This
he was gonna
guy thinking
rip his legs
he
off.
was going to see Saw 5,
Yeah.
5D,
but
and he was really seeing Longlegs.
Longlegs the movie.
Longlegs the movie.
Longlegs the musical.
That
Anyways,
I'd pay to see.
I think that would be interesting. But anyways, yeah, I love the opening. I think the opening is really great, really scary. And then when we get introduced years later, I picked up that the little girl that we saw in the very beginning is also the big girl that we see following, who's an FBI agent now.
I didn't get that until towards the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that didn't hit me until like way later. I was not thinking that at all. I was just thinking, oh, just a cold open. Got ourselves a nice little cold open case here, and this is just showing like a time where he was long legging it up.
See, I kind of try to think of this as 4D chess now because I don't know if you ever seen it, but it came out, might have been last year or 2022, but it's See How They Run or how, like, something like that. But it's like a crime noir film that came out a couple years ago. And they literally tell the ending of the movie in the movie. And I just, but it's like they're it's a play, like it's centered around a play. Someone dies that is a big actor.
No, that's fair.
And they're like, oh, this is how we think it should end, and it's like this cop's got a gun and blah blah blah. And I literally sat there and I was like, this is going to be
end?
the end of the movie,
right? They're telling me right now.
Yeah, and it was. So now I try to just think like
I'm the opposite, dude. I think with all of like the knowledge that I've gained over the years of just how films get made, I think I have to actively turn my brain off a bit when I'm watching movies, especially horror movies. It's my favorite movie genre, so that I'm not doing that because I don't want, because otherwise I'm gonna be picking it apart the whole time. I'm gonna be thinking about what went right, what went wrong, how did they do this, how did they make that work, and then I'm gonna be thinking plot, and I'm gonna be thinking, oh, okay, well, how's this plot structure, going, like what act are we in, how are they gonna get from point A to point B, and I'm gonna come up with the rest of the story in my head. And when I do that, I'm not fully immersed in the film.
That's fair.
So I like to do that on a second watch. First watch, I'm like, I try to turn my brain off and I'm just in it. I'm not trying to figure out what's going to happen. If I do catch it, I catch it. If I don't, I'm really just like moment to moment, like, let me experience
that.
This
is kind of interesting. I felt the opposite when I learned more about any subject, really. I feel like, well, now I'm like, have a decent knowledge on it. I think that it's like it's the same thing. I'm a pro wrestling fan. I like pro wrestling. Definitely fake. I'm not one of those people. I know it's fake.
What?
Yeah. But like I literally,
that's crazy.
I watched a wrestling match today before coming over here, and I was talking to my wife about it, and she was watching it with me, and I literally go, "This is what's going to happen. This person is going to do this, and that person's going to do that, and that person will then give the advantage to the other person, and then they will do their finish, and it's going to be the finish of the match." And I was right.
You were right.
Yeah.
You predicted.
I was right. I could book it. I can.
You should.
I can see it. I wish that'd be a nice job. But, anyways, but I don't think that hinders it in my experience. I'd like to. I kind of feel like it's like gives me a backstage pass. Like I'm in on it. And so that's why I did appreciate that. And I was like, okay, this person is the little girl, and we don't know that yet, but I think this is this person. And we get to it's a very hard open, in my opinion. They're looking for someone who's some serial killer or mass murderer person.
Did you catch in that sequence that Micah's character looked at her partner before they said who her partner was?
No, I didn't.
She does. She turns her head and looks at him, and then the camera.
Oh, you're right.
Looks
she does
at him
do that
too. and
Yeah.
then and that's basically her having a bit of that sixth sense,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
didn't think about that. I just thought
Yeah.
like maybe there was some type of like we're good partners or good friends. No,
Mm-mm.
I got man. Yeah, no, I didn't think about that.
This is what I mean when I say I love those little subtle things, you know. You notice it, and like I didn't pick that up on first watch, but second watch I was like, oh, that's nice. But you're right, we had that open, and then we go into them searching around this interesting neighborhood that I feel like I've been in before. Like I feel like I've definitely been in a neighborhood like that, looking for this guy. And that's the part of the horror that I liked of this. And it's not even really horror, but like just the tension building, where it's like the suburban cooped up, how the houses look the same kind of neighborhood, and it's got these little kind of alleyways in between that like you know that if someone wanted to, they could kind of sneak, you
Oh
know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
but you don't know what's going on, so it was really that I think did a good job of that setting, did a good job of like making the mundane, you know, scary. And I love, that's one thing I loved about Longlegs, and I love about movies like this that are a bit grounded. You know, they do a good job of making the mundane feel horrifying.